can't make your rent because the guy that fucking employs you is not paying you enough money. He's not keeping up, or she's not keeping up with the rate of inflation.
And I got to be honest with you. You could have 10,000 hardcore Marxist bread tubers pumping out theory 24/7, and they will not reach as many people.
The citizens are like, what are you doing? They like intimidate them, arrest them, and this is like Gestapo type of stuff, and it just blows my mind that there's a certain ugly segment of the American population that's enjoying watching these families getting ripped out of their homes. And you somehow think that America is going to be better if this is done. Like, so what? So they took those people out. They're taking these brown people out that are living week to week. And somehow you feel like if they get them out of the country, your boss who's not paying you a living wage will suddenly start paying you a living wage. What would be a great thing is everybody read up on the history of these that have run these companies. They have not wanted to pay Americans a living wage ever. They've never wanted to pay us a living wage. And the only reason why they do is because there's laws. And the only reason why there is laws is because people died during protests to start unions. And the fucking psychos that run these companies didn't want to pay a living wage, and eventually they took their factories out of the country so they could go back to not paying a living wage in the form of sweatshop labor. And now they're eventually working their way towards this. The same billionaires that didn't want to pay in the 1800s, way back to the feudal system, they've never wanted to pay you. They don't want to pay you, and they just keep blaming people that don't look like you, that don't have any money or any sort of control over your life, and my people keep believing it.
He's working class just like us. Well, I mean, first off, if you're going to be saying something in any respect, it's going to make more sense if you refer to us in terms of your audience listening, because the average person is probably not a multimillionaire, super famous comedian. But I do appreciate how Bill, even in his success, has always been able to be transparent about it. Like, I've seen that entire routine where he's talking about, they're like, oh, so Bill, why are you advocating for all this stuff when you're so rich? And he's like, because I got rich and I wasn't before, and I learned how much better you're treated as a human as a result. He's like, the best example I can give you is flying. It's night and day. He's like, I used to fly coach. I now fly first class. And the difference is they treat you like a human. It's so weird. They're not trying to cram me into a teeny little cube with everyone else while they like throw some microwave dinner in front of me and you just hear screaming and blah, blah, blah. And you're then basically trying to get you from point A to point B with as little hassle as possible. And on the other end, just in the exact same, plane with the same humans on it, going to the same place, we're treated like emperors on the other side. They don't want you to see it. That's why they cover the curtains. They close the curtains because no one wants to see how good life is on the other end, where people are actually being treated like human beings, like royalty almost, where they're just like doting on their every need, where before we've even taken off, they hand you a glass of champagne and a bunch of like grapes and cheese. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this is so nice. I didn't know flying can be an enjoyable experience. It's not. It's not for everyone. Like 90% of people who fly have to have a shitty, horrible experience so I can have a luxurious, lovely one. And I think that's fucked. And so I appreciate, right? Like, I don't think he's like a class traitor in the sense that he's going to be like a vanguard of the revolution or anything like that. I think you should just be happy that there's at least one famous, super, well-received comedian podcast bro that happens to get it. And that's it. Like, I personally don't look towards, like, how there's this big thing right now where it's like, we need the Joe Rogan of the left. We need to spend $10 million finding the Joe Rogan of the left. There's going to be an American Idol for the leftist Joe Rogan. We're going to get our liberal Joe Rogan up there. And it's like, you have liberal Joe Rogans. You have a lot of them. You have Pod Save America. You have David Pakman. Like, you have people with big platforms who will just ride or die Democrats no matter what. That's not a lacking thing for you. What you want is you want to have an easy solution to a problem that you don't actually want to fix, which is that the reason why the Democrats or liberals in Canada or, you know, a lot of these neoliberal movements are having so much trouble and are struggling against the far right now is that they are not actually meeting the needs of their constituents. They're not actually meeting the material needs of people. They're consistently giving people just a little bit of crumbs while actually funding a fuck ton of money to the ultra wealthy, and then at the same time saying, but the other people are Nazis. And then you're like, that's true, but that doesn't give you the right to do shit fuck and continue to exacerbate wealth inequality in the way you do. Like, you can't use that as your barometer. You're not a Nazi. Okay, that's the bare minimum of human decency. You should be working towards and fighting the very people who extract everyone's labor, because it's this wealth inequality and this consistent, like, you know, consolidation of power towards very, very few hands that leads to people looking for alternatives and then has them looking on the other side. Well, what's going on over there? Those are bad people. They're misogynists. They're sexists. They're racists. Don't fuck with them. Right. The thing is, though, there's two options, and y'all aren't doing shit. So I don't know what to say here. Like, things are getting worse. Y'all aren't doing shit. And on the other side, the people there are saying they're going to drain the swamp and get rid of all these corrupt fuckers. I kind of hate the corrupt fuckers. And over there, they're saying they're going to get rid of them. And on this side, you're saying I'm speaking and to calm down, and it's in my head. It's not, though. Like, I feel that you've got a really big detachment from what the current conditions are for people living in this country. And over there, they're saying that they're going to fuck shit up. I don't agree with everything he's saying. I don't like everything he's saying. I'm not totally down with the whole eradicating trans people stuff, but I don't think he'll actually do that. And I think deep down, he's saying he's going to fuck shit up. So, like, I don't know. Maybe we do need some change or some shit, because this constant, like, we're going through a Gilded Age right now in terms of wealth inequality. There's one dude who happens to be on the other team, by the way, but there's one dude who has almost the collective wealth of like 47% of the country. That's wrong, right? Like, we can all agree that's wrong. It's grotesque that, again, we shouldn't live in a situation where one person can have the collective wealth of half the country, and at the same time have hundreds of thousands of people who live on the streets and die on the streets. Something's wrong there, and I don't know. I don't feel like I'm heard on the other side.
It's unfucking believable. Immigrants are not the reason why you can't make your rent. You can't make your rent because the guy that fucking employs you is not paying you enough money. He's not keeping up, or she's not keeping up with the rate of inflation. And
I got to be honest with you. You could have 10,000 hardcore Marxist bread tubers pumping out theory 24/7, and they will not reach as many people with that simple concept in that little, like, he's speaking normie here. He's reducing an idea to something that's very, very simple, but anyone who's listening can kind of be like, oh shit, you're right. And that's a good thing.
That fucking thing is, there's enough money, there's enough food, there's enough shelter for everybody. But these super rich cunts want too much for themselves. And they're heartless. They don't give a f***. And when you start to tell them, hey, you're not paying us enough money, they go, oh, look at those fucking brown people over there. If we could just get them to stop jumping over a wall or get them out of their houses. If we could tear apart their families without a warrant, then I would somehow magically start paying you enough money where you could live comfortably and have health insurance. Unreal. And I got to tell you, the fucking people that are just watching this stuff, and you don't think that eventually, if you just co-sign on an agency being able to do that, just barge into somebody's fucking house like that, just start lining people up, asking questions, no warrants, just total intimidation, right? If you're signing off on that, you have to understand, do you really think that that's just going to stop there? Let's say they got all the illegal immigrants out of this country. That work still has to be done. So now who's doing that work? And what is the rich guy doing? Do you think he's going to pay American citizen wages? Is he going to let one nickel roll out of his pocket? Has that been your experience watching these super rich people? Just out of curiosity.
I can tell you, because we're starting to find out. I don't know if you saw. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei said that everything human workers do will eventually be done by AI systems. He's looking to replace basically the majority of the workforce with AI systems, which there's certain things that I don't think AI would be equipped to do, but a lot of people are really touting this idea that we're only minutes away from AI basically replacing entire workforces. I can show you what that looks like in practice, though. There's a company called Klarna. Klarna's AI replaced 700 of their workers. And now the fintech CEO wants humans back after a $40 billion fall. Klarna CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski admitted the company's AI-heavy approach to customer service went too far, leading to a drop in quality. The fintech firm is now rehiring human agents through a remote, on-demand model while continuing to integrate AI across all operations. Good luck getting people back, by the way. Like, Jesus. Like... How in the world are you gonna entice someone who's like, hey, sorry, could you come back and keep working for us? You fired me, though. Yeah, we did. You fired everyone. You fired all my friends. You fired my coworkers. You fired 700 people. I don't want to work for you. Yeah, I know. It feels as if we could just fire you at any time. We need a couple people to kind of be human, just to pepper in some human with the AI tech people, because no one likes the AI ones. But we figure if we can just trick them by having some human beings, every now and then get us better scores, then we can justify replacing the majority of our workforce with AI. But yeah, people are really not taken to it. It's not doing exactly what it's supposed to, and leading to a lot of errors.
Anyway, it's tragic. This is just a really mean, ugly, I can't even say period, I guess exposure, that it's just brought all of these super fucking overtly racist nationalist psychos to the forefront. It's even happening in like stand-up comedy. It's like, it's fucking wild. I don't understand. Who knew that there was this many fucking people out there that felt oppressed if they couldn't be this fucking hateful?
And honestly, it doesn't matter how you get there. I mean, all roads are going to lead eventually to a great awakening, where you actually recognize what is going on in the world. Because I know there's a lot of people who are just utterly confused. Like, hey, why the fuck is no one appreciating the new world order, the neoliberal world order? Neoliberal economics globally have brought so much prosperity to our countries that how could anyone ask for an alternative to this? And then it's like, well, they brought an unbelievable amount of wealth and prosperity to a very small amount of people, while raising a standard of living and then eroding that standard of living by directly attacking the very unions that actually raise the quality of a standard of living in most of the countries where neoliberalism has reigned its, horrifying reality. And now is pushing a lot of countries into this position where people keep asking the same question. Why are young men going right wing and young women are getting more progressive? And it's like, well, we have a very identifiable gender dynamic there, that every single young man, since he's raised, is told that to qualify as a man, that there's a set of things he has to accomplish that includes being a provider or protector, to earn a good wage under capitalism and to take care of his family, and eventually get yourself a beautiful wife that you can have some children with who will take care of your kids. And that's the dynamic we just keep pushing upon people. And during a time when it's becoming increasingly more difficult to make it, and impossible in a lot of cases to afford a home, unless of course you come from wealth. That's the other thing, right? If you have family that can help you, sure, you can get money for a down payment, etc. But for the vast majority of people who are working class, it's really hard to tell someone, hey, by the way, you got to be putting money away all the time. Oh, okay. You want to own a house? Yeah, eventually. Okay, so you got to raise about $200,000. That's what you're going to need for the down payment to get a loan. What? Yeah. Sorry, were you living paycheck to paycheck? Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't live paycheck to paycheck. You got to live basically well below your means, put money away, hopefully save, and I don't know how long it'll take you to raise, $10,000, but multiply that by another 200 and you're getting there, or I guess 20 if you're talking about the 200,000. But yeah, it's like The only reason we have a house is we got into Bitcoin early. Oh man, what a lottery. I guess congrats, you know, if you're one of the people who bought Bitcoin when it was like, what, $1 for 10,000 or something like that. Imagine now when they're like 120,000 a coin. It's so wild.
Don't let this happen to you. Go to serfscoffee.com to order the only end-to-end owned indigenous coffee company that delivers blood-free, conflict-free, and cruelty-free beans right to your door. 0% of people who drink serfscoffee.com have exploded spontaneously. By ordering right now, you get 10% off plus free shipping, and it's the best way to enjoy delicious coffee while not exploding. That's serfscoffee.com, serfscoffee.com.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This video wouldn't be at all possible without the financial support of all the people whose names you see on the screen right now. And if you want to unlock secret bonus episodes, content that we can't post anywhere else, or get the videos early before anyone else gets to see them, please go on to patreon.com/theserfs. For as little as $1, you can help support this channel and help make more videos like this possible. Our executive producers are Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Garrett Sandoval, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Boehm, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Tigwick, Trav, and Words Greenwood. And also, it wouldn't be possible without all the names you see on the screen right now. Again, if you want to help produce this content, it's only made possible through the funding of our patrons. Head on down to patreon.com/theserfs. That's patreon.com/theserfs.